Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode 11 of Season 4 here in the Achieve and Leave series. We start with a home game against Leeds, then we've Champions League quarter-finals against Bayer Leverkusen, and then we end the month with a game against Leicester in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. So we have the opportunity to potentially get through to another final today and to the semi-finals of the Champions League. Now, I'm actually going to play this home game against Leeds and then simulate the game in the first leg of the Champions League against Bayer Leverkusen, because I want to see if we get the Premier League trophy lifting ceremony. Of course, we guaranteed the Premier League title in the last episode. Spoilers if you missed it. And we're looking to do the quadruple so far this season. We've won 2 trophies now. We're in the semi-final of another and the quarter-final of another. So hopefully, by the end of today, we might be looking like we're on course still for that quadruple. Depending on when the semi-final of, providing I get through, depending on when the semi-final of the Champions League is drawn, we may end up splitting April or splitting the end of the month into 2, because I'll do Leeds and Leverkusen today, and then probably have the semi-final of the FA Cup and I'm guessing the semi-finals here on these 2 weeks of the Champions League in April still, and then for May would have the FA Cup final and the Champions League final, considering we don't need to play any more Premier League games. So we'll play it by ear, we'll see what happens, but hopefully it will give us the opportunity to lift the trophy here in this game against Leeds. Considering the league table is of no consequence to us whatsoever anymore, I'm going to play with the rotation side to give those players a bit of football, and also not going to bother selecting the starting 11 for the opposition now in any competition that isn't the Champions League, or basically just not in the Premier League, because I don't need to, because it doesn't matter what happens now. So I'll still select the 11 for the Champions League and for the FA Cup, but this one is basically just going to be us seeing if we can win or lift even the Premier League trophy at the end of the game. So probably minimal highlights from this one against Leeds, but then we'll see what happens in the next games as well. Rodrigo around the corner nicely to Jesse Lingard, just looking to get away, then poke through Lucas Vazquez. Surely now this has to be 1-0. Ball across the box. Chong! There we go. We're in front. Unfortunately, I'm not sure actually whether I'll have shown you that highlight earlier on in the game. Had the ball not quite bounced rightly for him as he was played in over the top. Nothing really came of it, but on the end of this ball, to give us a 1-0 lead at the back post there, our first game at home, or first game in general, after confirming our league title at the end of the last episode. Hopefully, we shall continue in the same vein. It's certainly not the same starting 11, but fingers crossed, the same end result. Fred in there to Rodrigo. Through the gap for Lucas Vazquez, who will drive to get there. And around the corner. Oh, wow, that nearly ended up in as an own goal. We will somehow end up with the second finish there. Leeds United, what on earth is going on at the back for you? That was outrageous. I need to see a replay just to figure out what happened. Deflected off the defender. Then the goalkeeper knocked back. Then the secondary effort off the post. And then Rodrigo smashes it home. Fred to Lingard. Out wide to Lucas Vazquez. Keeps it in well. Looks there for Rodrigo and Fred. Lovely ball looking for Lucas Vazquez. Chong's in the middle again. Chong with the header. That's a third. Manchester United 3, Leeds United 0. Really nice move. Chong finding the space in the middle. And as Alan Smith just said, he could hardly miss. All he had to do was get significant contact on it, and it certainly was going in. And it did. Ribbon. Forward for the run of Rodrigo. Chong is trying to get there in the middle. He's on a hat-trick here, Chong. And we can play him in. And it's good footwork. Chong has his hat-trick! The Manchester United youngster fires us 4-0 in front. That's a great finish as well. Massive day for the player, Martin Tyler. on the day that we hopefully should be lifting the Premier League trophy. I can never remember how it works in career mode. I know you very rarely get to lift it away from home. I don't know whether it's the first home game after your confirmation or the last home game of the season. I can never remember. We were away from home at West Ham when we won the title in the last episode. And with 2 minutes to go, the final whistle should... Well, with 2 minutes added on, sorry, the final whistle should be going momentarily. Leeds could get themselves a consolation here. Alioski tackled by Dallo will look to clear it. There is the final whistle. Are we going to have the trophy ceremony? Again, the players celebrating like mad, even though the league title was already assured. I just heard the word presentation in my ear. So hopefully we will get to see the players lift the trophy. I went with the reserve side because the first team, strong first team, have already lifted the Carabao Cup. If we win the Champions League, it's going to be them that lift that trophy. If we win the FA Cup, it's going to be them that lift that trophy. Even though they've had barely anything to do with this Premier League campaign here, these players wouldn't have gotten the chance to lift the trophy at all or be a part of a major trophy ceremony like this if I play my first team or strongest team in every game. So to give these players, this specific set of players, the chance to be involved in a trophy ceremony here on FIFA, we went with the reserve team today. Jesse Lingard was heavily involved and he'll lift the trophy. And next to him, the hat-trick hero here, Chong as well. A great way to start the episode. Jesse Lingard, captain of Manchester United on this occasion, lifting a Premier League trophy. Will we see that happen again in real life? We'll have to wait and see over the next few seasons with Ollie at the wheel. Who knows? Up next for us, though, will be a couple of simulated games, I think, before the second leg against Bayer Leverkusen. What's annoying is not knowing when the next Champions League ties are going to be played. So if I play Leverkusen and play Leverkusen, then in the next episode, I'll play both semi-finals of the Champions League and the semi-final of the FA Cup, and then play the finals in the next episode, in an episode after that, if that makes sense. So we'll play this game against Leverkusen away from home. Actually, I do want to ensure that their strongest lineup is out, so let's do that. Have to be quick because this battery has only just gone on charge. Strong team. Belotti up top, Kai Havertz, Julian Brandt, Saniganov, Kur in there with Alan holding, Almiron on the bench, Levan Kazara, Xabi Alonso, Marcus Alonso, Bailly, Christensen, Sidibe at right back. They got any better right backs? They have Damian, a former Man United man, and then Chodecki in goal. That's a strong starting 11 from Bayer Leverkusen. No surprise that they've gotten this far in the competition, but only real options on the bench are Almiron and Bernat or Bender. Throw Bellarabi in there because his pace just died. 86 sprint speed still decent, I suppose. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Right, really strong team for Leverkusen. This is not going to be easy, but hopefully we'll still be able to come out on top. Julian Brandt turns inside well, but Mbappe steals it off him. Whoa, look at all the Leverkusen players flood forward there. Jeeps, Pogba should have the strength here to hold off court. Can't. If Leverkusen play with that level of intensity when they lose possession, it might be kind of similar to our season at Dortmund and the games against Leipzig. If you cast your mind back, Leverkusen actually were absolutely incredible in that league season and ended up winning the title ahead of us. I think I mistakenly said in the previous episode that it was Bayern that beat us in the league race. Of course, it wasn't. It was Bayer Leverkusen. They ended up winning the league, and Bayern finishing second. I think we finished third actually at Dortmund, didn't we? But regardless, the last time we played Bayer Leverkusen, we had a thrilling game that we ended up losing by, it was either 4-3 or 5-4. I think it was 5-4. Alan, Mbappe just runs up and runs off with it. I dropped him, Milinkovic-Savic. Need to get this out of Pogba's feet quickly, and we did so well. Mbappe looking to accelerate away, hops past one challenge. We'll keep the run going, and Milinkovic-Savic is bursting through. Savic for 1-0, outside the post only. Outside of the post only. Across to Savic, out wide to Mbappe. Just duck back Get that to Lukaku and look for Pogba through that gap. Will he reach it? He won't, but they pass it straight to Kylian Mbappe, and Eric Bailly, against his former team, very nearly gifted us a 1-0 lead. Pogba get this across here to Milinkovic-Savic. This time he might score. No, Kudetsky makes another save. Knocking on the door here, but they won't open. They won't answer. Oh, it's a good cross. Still can't get anyone on the end of it. 5 minutes to go till half-time in this first leg of the Champions League quarter-finals. Still scoreless. Either side could genuinely get themselves through to the next round here, so we're going to have to stay at our highest possible performance levels to knock Leverkusen out after 2 ties. So far, we have been the better team. Lovely dummy there by Sigankov. And not a dummy this time, it's still a turn, and Casemiro will head away. Lukaku does well, but now I've got no one to aim for higher up the pitch. We'll probably just have to settle for 0-0 at half-time. Into Savic. Very close first half. Chances, but still very close. Have a howl look there for Lukaku. Around the corner for Pogba. Wouldn't let me take control of Rashford to get that loose ball. And Dani Carvajal at the back post could sneak in. He's ended up in the back of the net. The ball hasn't. Now he's out of position. It's Sergej Milinkovic-Savic filling in at right back there. He's still on, only just on his way back there, Dani Carvajal, as you can see, and still out of position. And Kai Havertz isn't anywhere near the level of Matthijs de Ligt. Counter-attack. Savic across to Pogba. Lukaku and Rashford ahead of me. Lukaku quite slow on the uptake. Get it out to Rashford, who has had the better of Sidibe on multiple occasions so far in this game. And Milinkovic-Savic, still no goal for him. Chance after chance after chance for the Serbs so far in this game, but it won't go in. Would work again. What? To Kai Havertz. Effort. Saved by De Gea. Couldn't hold on to it. Tipping it round the post for a corner. Kur going off and Bender coming on. Siganov to take the corner. It's a decent whip, but it's headed away by Milinkovic-Savic, who's having a big part to say in what happens in this game. At both ends, evidently. Getting the ball away there. Nicely done. Mbappe to Pogba. I'll play it over the top for Rashford to run onto. On the counter-attack here, I do have Lukaku in the middle to look for. We'll cut back. We'll loft it. Lukaku volleys it against the defender. And it'll go out for a throw-in just past the hour mark. More changes for Leverkusen coming up. Kai Havertz, I think that is going off. Not sure who's going to be replaced by Almiron is coming on in his place. Pogba out of his feet. Paul Pogba deflected, I think, off a teammate. No, off a defender. Another set piece to come in. Still looking for this first goal. Rashford heads wide. Brandt to Almiron. Back to Brandt to Almiron again. He's come off the bench here and is immediately involved. Belotti. How has the hair saved that? I genuinely don't know. The reactions from the man, outrageous. Chest control from Rashford, outrageous on both ends of the spectrum. In there to Belotti, nice ball around the corner to Sigankov. Oh, Almiron sneaks in. Sigankov with the assist. In real life, he's at Newcastle. Here, he's at Leverkusen and playing in a Champions League quarter-final, giving his team the lead in a Champions League quarter-final. Really well-worked goal. Sigankov with the ball into the middle, and De Ligt just switches off. Almiron through the legs of the goalkeeper. Could De Gea have come for that? Possibly. Should De Ligt have been more alert? Certainly. Are we 1-0 down? Definitely. So for Leverkusen, Sidibe back there to Bellarabi, who's just come on for Sigankov. That's going to drop for Mbappe, who will poke that for Lukaku. Just get past one defender, power around him. No, Andreas Christensen does really well. Many other options there, to be fair. Here's Almiron again, their goal scorer. Belotti to Lars Bender. Back to Belotti, wary of the pass back to Lars Bender. Don't give a foul. I'm sure I won the ball. Pogba to get to that ahead of Almiron. No. Pogba to get to that ahead of the secondary man. Yes. Casemiro breaking through the gap. Here's Milinkovic-Savic. He's been key for us going forward all games so far. Out wide to Mbappe. Hit the woodwork like 3 times in this game already. We'll try and get this around the corner there to Casemiro, who turns well. That was meant for Pogba. It will find Rashford, who will lose possession. Why could it not have passed that to Paul Pogba? Rashford with a throw back. Alexandro. Milinkovic-Savic. Will he get his goal? No, he won't. Kudetsky with a brilliant save. They surely can't keep this up over the course of 2 legs by Leverkusen. Surely. Milinkovic-Savic to Mbappe. Spins well. Shot blocked. Cleared away. I'm about to lose my 2nd game of the season. Thankfully, on this occasion, it's not going to cost me anything other than a more difficult second leg. But it is going to be a more difficult second leg. We need to come from 1-0 down in that second leg, and we shall head to that now. First up, we have an away game against Brighton that we shall simulate with the reserve side. Don't really care if we end up losing more games in the Premier League now. We have our title, and the invincible record is unfortunately out of our reach thanks to the game against Manchester City in January. Fred gives us a 1-0 lead though, so we might yet still be winning despite the weaker starting 11. It'd be nice to see Chong get on the score sheet again. Oh, never mind, he's been substituted off. And Mbappe, his replacement, scores within 3 minutes. So Marks pulls one back for Brighton though, and with 15 to go, we still have our 2-1 lead. And we will get a 2-1 victory. Right, massive game coming up now in the second leg against Leverkusen. I'll start them with the same 11. And hopefully, this time, we'll come out on top. Otherwise, I'm really in trouble. Right, big performance needed in this game. Away goals could yet prove to be our downfall. If Leverkusen get themselves on the score sheet once, we will need to score 3 times to go through. So a clean sheet is pretty damned important here, and Kai Havertz could deny us that in the opening few moments, but thankfully the defenders' testicles are in the way. We'll keep them at 0-0 for now and 1-0 on aggregate, but this is going to be a really difficult tie to turn around. Desperate to win the Champions League though. Hopefully we'll be able to do it this season at Manchester United. Zero excuses for not winning the quadruple with this team. Quite remarkable squad of players, especially the starting 11, but we're getting closer and closer to going out here. Hits that against Rashford. Lukaku rather dangerously actually raises a boot there to get to the loose ball. Sidibe to Havertz to Belotti to Tsiankov. Set up their goal in the first leg and, well, trying his best to bemuse the defender, but wasn't able to do so. Pogba looking to get away. Lukaku in behind. Pogba's gone again. I'll look to find him here. Paul Pogba got out wide to Mbappe. First time finish. Yes! There it is. 1-1 on aggregate. And plenty of time to pull away. I love that. Great strength shown by Daniel Carvajal. Really nicely done. Sergej Milinkovic-Savic will look for Rashford through the gap. We could be about to immediately go 2-1 up. We are! Wonderful turnaround here in the opening 20 minutes at Old Trafford. I'm happy again. Brandt. Oh, nice turn there from Julian Brandt around the corner to Kai Havertz. The danger is not over yet though, because if they score and pull one back, then they're going through on away goals. We need to score more. We can't stop at 2. Our semi-final place isn't assured yet. Heart in the mouth, off the bar, and thankfully the defender gets the rebound first. Otherwise, it would have been an empty goal for the Leverkusen man to turn home. Another corner. Leverkusen are one of the best sides that we've played in any career mode save ever with the squad they have right now. They were unreal when we were at Dortmund last season, and they're proving to be just as good here with Manchester United as well. Hopefully this time we can get the better of them. We are currently. Rashford delivers the cross, blocked by Sidibe, cleared away. Take the throw, look for Pogba. Bring it down well. Runners around me. Milinkovic-Savic is there. Denied a goal in the first leg by the woodwork and the keeper. Oh, but not this time. 3-1 as the minutes read. 3-1. We'll take it. 3-0 on the night. Let's get in that semi-final. It down and turns well. Mbappe's on the run. I'll look for him. Great ball. Take it in your stride. Kylian for 4. No. Good save by Kwadetsky. Nearly out of sight there. Underneath this. Keeper Kwadetsky does well. Knock that down there to Casemiro. Hit it early. Deflected and makes it much simpler for the keeper to deal with. Mbappe. Back there to Danny Carvajal. I'm going to look for Rashford at the back post. A great ball. I think he was offside. He wasn't. Goal given. 4-0. What a first half performance this has been. Someone must have played him on. I thought he was off at the back post. Great header by Marcus Rashford. I'll be honest, after that first leg, I didn't see a second leg like this coming. So glad it did, though. Free kick for Leverkusen, just 3 minutes into the second half. Oh, and Alonso buries it. Stunning goal. 4-2 on aggregate. They only need 2 more, and they have a full half to do it, pretty much. They only need 2 more to knock us out on away goals. Even with scoring 4 goals in the first half, I still am not safe here. After the way they played in leg number 1, I certainly will not write them off until the final whistle goes. Lovely ball out to Mbappe. Milinkovic-Savic is there in support, and we'll find him looking for Lukaku. Takes it past the defender not once but twice. Drill it into the middle, but only finds Sidibe, not Marcus Rashford at the back post. Oh, 1 more, I think. 1 more goal, and I think I'd be happy and comfortable. But the fact that they pulled it back so early on in this second half to just 4-2 makes me a little bit nervous. Looking for Mbappe there. Spin, finish. There we go. There's the goal. Very, very comfortable now, I think. 5-1 on the night. 5-2 on aggregate. Semi-finals around the corner. Bender to Belotti. Out there to Sigankov. To Belotti again. To Lars Bender. Across to Almiron. Out to Julian Brandt. Oh, flashed past the post. They've had... Oh, via a deflection, evidently. They've had 10 shots, as you can see there, top left. It's not like they haven't created chances to keep themselves in this tie, Leverkusen. At the same time, in the first leg, we did create plenty of opportunities ourselves to score, not necessarily 5 goals, but certainly 2 or 3. So perhaps this is just what happens when the woodwork isn't always in the way, or the goalkeeper isn't absolutely incredible. Pogba went down there, and whether that should have been a penalty or not, I'm not sure. There's just over 5 minutes to go now, and Belotti's touch lets him down. We're guaranteed to be going through, and hopefully we get the easiest of the potential semi-final draws as we could possibly get. And we'll play the Champions League semi-finals and the FA Cup semi-final in the next episode. Brandt. Nice tackle by Danny Carvajal. Mbappe to Pogba. Forward to Lukaku. Casemiro. Lukaku's there again. I've got plenty of options here. We'll look again for Mbappe. Over the line for a 6th. Just too good in the end. This Manchester United side for Bayer Leverkusen. Quite the turnaround from leg 1. I don't feel like I've played any better here than I did in the first leg. It's just that the ball went in this time and it didn't last time. A hat-trick for Kylian Mbappe in a 6-1 win at home against Bayer Leverkusen after a 1-0 defeat away from him. And they had more chances than me in that game. Manchester City beat Juventus by 2-0. Don't let me get City in the next round because they've beat me already this season. Bayern Munich through against Valencia. Liverpool through against PSV. It's 3 of 4 English sides in the Champions League semi-finals. We are going to have an interesting time of things in the semis and over the next episode or 2. Match rescheduled, tournament prize money, match rescheduled, players suspended. Greenwood wants to play. Sorry, Mason. Not going to happen yet. At home against Wolves, who have we got? It's Liverpool. Oh, Manchester United, Liverpool in the Champions League semi-finals. We'll quickly simulate this home game against Wolves, and that'll be where we'll end the episode, because tomorrow we will play the semi-final of the Champions League against Liverpool and the semi-final of the FA Cup against Leicester, to hopefully then in the episode after that have both the FA Cup final and the Champions League Cup final. We shall wait and see in due course. Oh, into the second half here against Wolves, and Rashford makes it 3-1 just after the hour mark. We shall continue our assault for 100 points. 4-1 now through Pogba's penalty. And how close to 100 points are we at present? Not sure, because it's the FA Cup semi against Leicester next. Let's have a quick check before we end. Do drop the video a like if you enjoyed, particularly for that second leg against Leverkusen. I think that performance deserves a thumbs up. If you haven't already, make sure you subbed as well so you don't miss out on any further content. With 5 games to go, we could get up to 107 points. if we win all of our remaining games. 92 points on the board currently. Remarkable season for Manchester United, and it could yet get better still. I'll see you next time.